And I am pleased to welcome to the 2025 edition of Statehouse Conversations, Republican Representative Doug Miller of Elkhart, District 48. Capital of manufactured housing, capital of musical instrumentation, capital of
RVs.
RVs.
Don't forget RVs.
And you are known as the General Assembly's home builder, and that's always, and housing, in all seriousness, has always been an issue that's near and dear to you. It is again this session, I gather.
You know, housing has become a very big issue, right? Indiana's got the good fortune of growing. We grow jobs, we grow businesses, and when that happens, you end up with housing deficits. I traveled the state 2 years ago with two of my counterparts, and we visited with local governments, mayors, our counterparts in the House and the Senate, and the number one topic was housing. Everybody needs housing. And so I look at ways as how we can support our communities in that initiative, how we can not give money away, but how we can make good investments moving forward, and that it replicates itself. And so we're looking at allocations that grow, but don't have to be dependent on an annualized basis. So I'm currently working on, it's actually a priority bill for the House, but 2 years ago we passed the residential infrastructure funding, and it basically is funding that our communities apply for, because quite frankly, they know best who needs housing, they know what kind of housing they need, and they know where it needs to go. And infrastructure accounts for upwards of 35 to 40% of the cost of a project. So we've created a fund that communities can apply for, and then they're responsible for paying it back. They get to choose the developers that they want, that put out the highest quality product at the best prices, and they get to help grow their communities from that respect. And the interesting part about it is 70% of that funding is for communities with a population of 50,000 or less. So we're really trying to help rural Indiana grow, right? They typically are overlooked in this process, but that's the key to housing recovery.
And we often don't think about infrastructure. Once those sewers go in, those sidewalks, those streets, I mean, it's
out of sight,
then
out of mind.
Then the builders can come in and see whether they want, what siding and what all the niceties and
That's
so forth.
Right.
You know, we read nationally that a lot of people, the American dream, which used to be the little White House with the picket fence, whatever, it's out of reach for a lot of people. It may just be a matter of the supply.
Right.
Are we at the bottom and we're going to build our way out of this, or do you think are we ever going to get back to the notion that people could grab the American dream and hold on to it with the expectation of having a house?
Well, my father instilled in me 40 plus years ago that everyone should have the opportunity to live the American dream. I'm passionate about housing. I'm passionate about developing ways that our communities can meet those needs. So to your point, I think we're making progress. This didn't happen overnight. We're not going to get out of it overnight, but we are going to continue to create opportunities. We're going to continue to have discussions. We're going to look at alternatives for helping individuals get to that point, right? To your point, the American dream, I want my own piece of land, I want my own front door, and I want a place to raise my family safely. And quite frankly, life doesn't get better than that. So I value the opportunity to be involved in those discussions.
And so some of this also, we talked about the infrastructure fund, other regulatory types of things if you want to highlight this session.
Other regulatory things?
Or not even less, other things that you will spur this kind of move that you're talking about.
Yeah, so I'm working with the Indiana Housing Community Development Association. They've got funding right now for down payment assistance, and it's the dynamics and the shift in buyers has really changed even in the last half decade. And we have a lot of individuals in their 30s and early 40s that are trying to save money for a down payment. So we're creating our intent is to create a revolving fund that they can borrow the down payment and get into the house of their dreams. Everyone says, well, what is the house of their dreams? In my book, everyone has a vision of what they want. That's not my call. I just need to provide vehicles for them to get there.
And I know you're not a one-trick pony. We talk about housing all the time, and there's no simple segue to get to another interest of yours this session, which I'm not sure how it relates, but you're going to tell us. Cosmetology. What's Doug Miller doing in the world of cosmetology?
This is the coolest thing ever. 2 years ago, Department of Defense And another group that I work with reached out to me, and we started having conversations about cosmetology. We want to create a compact and be part of a 13-state coalition where license would be portable. And so let's just say that an individual who has a military spouse, most of the time those individuals are cosmetologists. They go to another state. It could take them 6-8 months to get through the licensing process.
Because they have to start from scratch.
Exactly.
As it is now.
This just would allow them to come, start practicing, get paid, get established in the community. The other thing, and this is what was fascinating to me, and I didn't realize it, but it makes all the sense in the world. A lot of cosmetologists are abused spouses. And in the cosmetology business, you can get paid on a daily basis. So one, you have the ability to support yourself and your family, and two, you can get out of the state that you're trapped in by going to another state. And to me, that makes all the sense in the world to help individuals who are trapped in that situation and need help getting out.
Well, I understand why you'd be passionate about it then. It may not be housing. Well, in a way it is housing. It's establishing a new home,
Absolutely
perhaps.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Doug Miller, Republican representative from Elkhart, District 48, I thank you for taking time to chat with me about some of the bills that you're prioritizing this session, and I applaud your commitment to the state of Indiana and to public service.
Thank
you very much.